for giving me this opportunity, and thank you to the friends and faculty at TIS for creating this platform where I could share my thoughts. I'm Ankush Vengurulekar. I have been a social impact communicator, trainer, facilitator for the last 15 years or so. Have had the opportunity to work with more than 450 nonprofits spanning 5 continents, 30 countries, raised more than $10 million through several fundraising campaigns, and my campaigns have reached over 20 million people. That's in short about me. Ankit has given me a framework with some questions, and I'm going to try and stick to that and give short responses so that we can try and cram everything in this limited time. Over the last 15 years, one of the biggest learnings for me has been that there is no voice that is stronger than that of a person who lives the reality that they live. So this incredible learning has been the dominant experience over the last 15 years, be it when I was working with communities in the Kashmir floods of 2014 and listening to their experiences of absolute devastation, be it listening to the communities who are suffering from uranium radiation poisoning in Jadugoda, Jharkhand and the vicinity, or be it during my experience of covering a padayatra, a foot march of 25,000 farmers, men, women, children, elderly, everyone, for Ekta Parishad. That has been my biggest learning. How can we center the conversation around these voices? Number one. Number two, we are passion over process. I think most of you would know that, which is why we seldom have nonprofits that scale. And the ones that do very clearly demonstrate that. Look at RSS. Look at the Caritas, which is a social developmental arm of the Catholic Church. The other key learning that has always come out is, this is a dialogue from the movie Dark Knight, is that you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And that's a beautiful line, especially true for nonprofits, because the founders, co-founders of nonprofits who started with an incredible intention sometimes just don't know when to quit. Sometimes it then just becomes about serving the founders, co-founders, executive directors, ego, identity, so on and so forth. So creating a succession plan, creating a plan where we are handing over the reins of the organization or the movement to newer, younger, fresher minds is something. These three, I would say, are predominantly the biggest learnings that I've had. What do nonprofits and social impact organizations succeed in? I think passion, that's our biggest asset. And the community interface, the community engagement, the community mobilization. My experiences with Ekta Parishad have been incredible. This organization has been working on peaceful protesting for the land rights of men and women for the last 30 years or so. Rajaji, the founder of Ekta Parishad, would always say is that the country and the world does not know the power of the poor and the power of the many. And that, I think, is the biggest plus point that we have working on social impact organizations. The second key thing that works in our favor, but also is sometimes a double-edged sword, is patience or the lack of it. Impatience is sometimes extremely crucial to push the narrative forward. But equally important is to be patient for things to play out in their own course. And the Azadi movement took decades. The different movements that I spoke about, from gender rights to LGBTQ rights to rights of workers, all of these things take extreme amount of time. The last things that I would say as a challenge is we think in a linear manner, mostly. But that's not how things always pan out. We may think that, okay, I'm going to go and register an organization, then I'm going to apply for licenses, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. You don't always have to do that. That wasn't our experience when we co-founded Adivasi Lives Matter. We said, we want to start doing the work in the community. We wanted to enable Adivasi youth to tell their stories with their smartphones in their Adivasi languages. And we thought everything else was just coming in the way. So we didn't register our organization. We went and adopted a parent organization. Let's not think in a linear manner. Let's not think that this is the only way to do things. In terms of stories, in terms of communications, in terms of marketing, I think the world right now is so beautiful, and India is opening up to consumption and content creation access like never before. Every sort of a story has an audience, and I think it's beautiful. Just look at this YouTube channel called Isak Munda Eating. He is an Adivasi person who started making a video about the kind of food that he and his family would eat. Or look at Shikha Mandi's FM and the kind of work that she is doing. Or look at Tom Murmu's incredible videos that he's putting on YouTube, and there's such incredible content. Or look at Theye, Mekhala Mama's Instagram page, and see how she is using Instagram for conserving and revitalizing traditional looms of the Northeast. The amount of beautiful expression that is out there in multiple languages, not your Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Bengali. There's over 400 languages that the Adivasis of the country speak. And the kind of narratives, the kind of stories that are being put out are incredible. I would say as students, what we can do we shouldn't go with the thought that, oh, this is not being done. I think we should look at what all is being done. We should look at who all are contributing and working in that sphere and space, and build our movement, build our entrepreneurship or our initiative around these voices. We were fortunate enough, I was personally fortunate enough to meet Ashish Biruli in Jadugoda, Jharkhand, who was at the time Jharkhand's first Adivasi photojournalist whose work was published in France and Canada and Japan and US and everywhere. There are so many Ashish Birulis out there. So long as we can approach it from the space that let's center the narratives of the people who live the realities, then I think we are going to be much more equitable in our social justice, social impact movement. Thank you so much once again. If you have any questions, reach out to me on LinkedIn at Ankush Vengurlekar, or you can DM me on Instagram at Grow That Impact, where we're trying to grow a community enabled by AI, marketing, fundraising for social impact organizations across the world. Thank you once again.